Spider-Man Homecoming. This is not really so much an update on the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, which launches July 7th, which is...
Oh, that's getting really close.
Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting really close. 2 weeks from now. I say we do a review on it.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah? Were you not going to?
Not when it comes out. I hate that.
Oh. Well,
I'm one of those people that I don't like going to see movies when they come out because I hate large crowds of people.
Also, internet, YouTube, is there a rule that says that you have to review a movie right when it comes out? Because I don't agree with that necessarily. Just saying. Yeah, Spider-Man movies are always really crowded. Even the not-so-good ones. So, the sequel to, of course, everyone knows Homecoming is going to have Tony Stark playing some kind of role. We don't know exactly how much of the movie he'll be in, how little of the movie he'll be in. Something tells me that every single thing that you've seen in the trailers with him in it that's about it. You might have probably a grand total of 4 scenes with him in it. And of course he's going to be Iron Man at some point in time, but I think that's going to be very, very limited. Now, Homecoming 2, let's just call it that, even though they're not going to call it Homecoming 2. The sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming was originally supposed to have Tony Stark returning as a mentor role for Peter. Apparently that's not happening now. Robert Downey Jr. is now out when it comes to that movie. That movie was going to come out a few months after, I want to say, the Avengers Infinity War sequel, so Avengers 4. So that might have something to do with events that take place during that movie. But here's something that people are throwing around. They're saying, well, why can't you just have Spider-Man be on his own? That could be fine. But I also think people need to see Homecoming and see how I'm sorry, that was like one of my favorite things in Civil War, was Peter's interactions with Tony. And I was like, if only there could be more of this. Lo and behold, that's what's going to be in Homecoming. And while it's not going to have a whole lot, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of Tony Stark in it. He's still in it, and that's good enough for me. So now they're going to be replacing Tony Stark with a different MCU character fulfilling the mentor shoes. Do you number one, who do you think it'll be? And secondly, do you think it's good to even have that?
Well, the guy who's playing Captain America, his contract's running up too, isn't it?
Right. His contract is up after Avengers 4, so it will likely not be him. Likely will not be Captain America.
Oh. I mean, first thought, I kind of think of, I don't know, I think Ant-Man.
I hadn't thought of Ant-Man, but that would actually be pretty cool.
I don't know, because
they're like, one is like so Ant-Man is like an older version of Peter Parker. He's quippy, he's got the sarcasm, but he's also like, been to prison.
Team Arthropod.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, because like Iron Man was the one who like recruited him in Civil War. He was like, I'll fix you with a better suit since you're just wearing a sweater and some goggles, and in return help me stop these people. And Peter Parker was like, yes.
Iron Man's asking me for help. How can I say no?
And then they had like Spider-Man and Captain America had like that little like
exchange.
You got guts, kid. Where are you from? It's
Queens,
like Brooklyn. Yeah. So like my mind would immediately jump like, oh, he'd go to Captain Rogers because they're both like New York. But if he's out, then
also I will say this: Marvel doesn't make the Spider-Man movies. So this doesn't really count. Now, Chris Evans did say that Steve Rogers' story wraps up in Avengers 4. But it'd be, you know what I wouldn't mind seeing? If they don't kill him off, I wouldn't mind just seeing Steve Rogers being Steve Rogers.
Not Captain America.
Not Captain.
Just giving him pointers.
Yeah. I'm retired now, but you know, I'll be there if you need me.
I can also think of like maybe Daredevil.
Yeah, and the only thing with that is there has been talk about how they're not really sure if they're going to
Bring the TV shows to the movie universe.
or vice versa.
Which is weird because they mention the movie universe
Yeah.
in the shows.
And that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
And then but you know, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the events of Winter Soldier like drastically affected Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah, I don't see why you can't have and then you had Lady Sif from Asgard in a few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah, why not do that?
Because I think Daredevil and Spider-Man have teamed up a few times.
Yes, they have. And I mean, New York is their stomping ground, so why not? They both have had Kingpin as an enemy, as a main enemy.
True.
So here go ahead.
Luke Cage and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
No, there have been some pretty good comic story arcs with those two as a focus together. So sure. One of the obvious ones that stuck out to me was Spider-Man and Hulk, because you would have Banner. They're not, from what I understand, they're not planning on doing any Hulk movies, so that does kind of free the character and the actor up to be in that. And Hulk and Spider-Man have been in lots of comics together, so that would be neat. Do you know what I just thought of though? That I think would be probably the best pick in my opinion, because the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to meet up with the Avengers, so they're going to find a way to get back to Earth. I'm thinking of Peter Quill. Could you not imagine Chris Pratt's Star-Lord interacting
with Spider-Man?
Yeah. And him just kind of catching up on everything he's missed over the last 30 years that he's been gone. I think that would be a perfect, like, so much humor could come from that.
Just like Peter Parker having to take care of this galactic bounty hunter who doesn't know anything about Earth.
Like, basically babysit him. And, yeah. That would be so cool. And then he's, like, got to balance that with, like, you know, battling supervillains.
Yeah. I guess the only thing with that is that he's usually in space.
Star-Lord, yeah. But I'm sure they come to Earth every so often. I mean, is Avengers 3 and 4 just going to take place in space the whole time?
Yes.
Not sure I'm a fan.
I don't know. I can't think of very many people that would reach out to Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, I think...
Deadpool.
Well,
there's a role model.
Deadpool's owned by Fox, so I don't think that'll happen anytime soon.
Well, I think Spider-Man considers, or Deadpool considers Spider-Man one of his, like, closer friends.
And Peter Parker, like,
he's totally against
like,
it.
He's just like, no, you kill, you go against everything I stand for. But he's like, come on, we're buddies.
Yeah.
So I think this is the whole keeping the mentor role in there is fine, because number one, I think we've had plenty of solo Spider-Man movies. And I think one of the cooler, probably the best thing that Spider-Man 3 did Yes, I'm actually saying something good Spider-Man 3 did. I loved how in the final act you had Harry come back to help Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man, while yes, he works alone, he does not have a sidekick. He's one of those characters that just mixes well with any other Marvel character you team him up with. Whether it's a villain or a hero. Like, just, he's kind of like, he's like the everyman, with the exception of he's really good at science. His alter ego is just extremely relatable. He's got women problems, he's got money problems. That's always been a really attractive thing about the character. So with that, he's able to mix, you can mix and match him with pretty much anyone, and it's going to be good. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to with Tony Stark and him in Homecoming. Why not do that with another character? I'm kind of glad it's not going to be Tony Stark, because I want to see him interact with someone else now. But yeah. Do you have any issues with them doing it, or do you think that Spider-Man should be allowed to stand on his own 2 feet and just be independent?
I don't know.
It
seems like this one is like, he does seek some help from Iron Man, so it's like he clearly wants pointers, and he's not like it's just based off the trailers that I have seen thanks to YouTube. It seems like, you know, he wants Tony's help, and Tony's just like, just stay low, you know, like just get the small guys, don't go after the big fish.
Pickpockets, you know.
And he's just like, but
I could do so
they're
much
all
more.
bad, you know, I can do it.
Yeah.
If you help me. And Iron Man's just like, no.
Leave that to us.
Yeah. So, and then Spider-Man goes off and does it by his own.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the whole plot figured out. Thank you, trailers.
Yes.